The subconscious mind is not a seat of reasoning or creative consciousness. We went over this last time. It is strictly a stimulus response device, the stoker. Whatever you say, that's what I'm going to do. When an environmental signal is perceived from the outside, the subconscious mind reflexively activates a previously stored behavioral response. No thinking required. What would be an example of that?
Burning yourself on a stove?
Okay, yeah, that would be a really good one. Driving to school today, no thinking required. I just have to, my subconscious mind knows all the things about how to do it. The subconscious mind is a programmable autopilot that can navigate the vehicle without the observation or awareness of the pilot, the conscious mind. When the subconscious autopilot is controlling behavior, consciousness is free to dream into future and review the past. Like when you're driving the car. You don't have to think about all the different aspects of driving. So you're free to, your mind is freed up to think about where you're going and all the things, or focus on what is happening. But you don't have to think about the driving part. Your body has figured it out. Okay? Now, it says the dual mind system effectiveness is defined by the quality of the programs carried in the subconscious mind. That's an important statement. The quality of the programs in the subconscious mind. Essentially, the person who taught you to drive molds your driving skills. For example, if you were taught to drive with one foot on the gas and the other on the brake, no matter how many vehicles you owned, each would inevitably express premature brake and engine failure. Similarly, if our subconscious mind is programmed with inappropriate behavioral responses to life's experiences, then our suboptimum driving skills will contribute to a life of crash and burn experiences. For example, cardiovascular disease, the leading cause of death, is directly attributable to behavioral programs that mismanage the body's response to stress. So far, the belief is that well over 50% of heart diseases have nothing to do with things like smoking and overweight, and they've attributed at least 50% of heart diseases to nothing other than the chronic activation of the stress response. So the question is, are you a good driver or a bad driver? The answer is difficult, for in our conscious creative mind, we may consider ourselves as good drivers. So this part of us, oh yeah, I'm a good driver. However, self-sabotaging or limiting behavioral programs, limiting beliefs, in our subconscious, unobservedly, in other words, we don't realize they're happening, undermine our efforts. We are generally consciously unaware of our fundamental perceptions or beliefs about life. And then this next part is so fascinating. The reason, so we're generally consciously, so some of us might have a program that's running that says, I'm afraid of snakes. No, let's do something that's even... I can't talk to people who are seemingly important. So I'm nervous to go interview for a job or something like that. The belief is I can't talk to people who I see as higher on the ladder than me. That might be a belief, right? So that's what we've got stored in the subconscious mind. The conscious mind goes, of course I can. But the subconscious mind is the one running the show. Now, the question is, so it says we're generally consciously unaware of our fundamental perceptions and beliefs about life. And then just tune into this. We're going to spend about 10 minutes on this next part. The reason is that the prenatal and neonatal brain, okay, what are we talking about there? First beginnings of our life, the brain is predominantly operating in delta and theta EEG frequencies through the first 6 years of life. Now, what is that? What the heck does that mean?